मैं बाहर हूँ हरि भक्ति करो, यही कारण लोग भेद दिया। ये तो आई जगत में भूल गयो, यही कारण लोग भेद दिया। कब के हल है मन सच करो, प्रभु रामचंद्र जन्म लिया। ऐ हो राम मिलन कब हो, अंकित वाला विरही। ऐ हो राम मिलन कब हो, अंकित वाला विरही। आरतवा में इंद्र न कहिए, तेरी आरतवा में इंद्र न कहिए। भावने पासी चले हो, भावने पासी चले, अमृत वाला विरही। ऐ हो राम मिलन कब हो, अमृत वाला विरही। ऐ हो राम मिलन कब हो, अमृत वाला विरही। मोहिनी समे जीवन के जिंदिया, मोहिनी समे जीवन के जिंदिया। भव के भोज करे, भजन के भोज करे, अंकित वाला विरही। ऐ हो राम मिलन कब हो, अंकित वाला विरही। ऐ हो राम मिलन कब हो, अंकित वाला विरही। वेद पुराण शास्त्र बहुभंजन, वेद पुराण शास्त्र बहुभंजन। पाकर भजन करे, ओ पाकर भजन करे, अमृत वाला। ऐ हो राम मिलन कब हो, अमृत वाला विरही। ऐ हो राम मिलन कब हो, अमृत वाला। The earth is going near the sun. It is going upwards, north. The earth is coming closer to the sun. But only for these 2 months, January and February. After that, the earth moves away from the sun and go to a further distance. It is only during this period that the earth goes near the sun, and it is known as Makar Sankranti. The upward movement of the sun from one point to the next is known as Makar Sankranti. It moves from the house of Sagittarius and enters the house of Capricorn, and it moves upward. It is the best time to die. The Munis and the Rishis go into the forests and into the caves, and they sit and they pray and they jap kare, Ram Naam ke japat kare. All the great sadhus and the Munis and the Rishis who live in the Himalayas and who live in the caves and so on, do penance to die now. So if people, those who are fortunate, die at this period of time, they say that they have gone to Godhead. It is the best time for anyone to die. In fact, the Munis and the Rishis, I have said, I don't want to repeat myself, pray to die now in Makar Sankranti. So my good friend Gudramji is very fortunate that he has died now. He has to be a good soul to die now. Because if the Rishis in India, living in the caves and elsewhere in the world, pray to die now, my good friend Gudran isn't living in one of those caves. He's living here in Digiti. So he's very fortunate because of the upwards movement of the earth from one constellation to another. And so this period of time in this month, it is known as Makar Sankranti. It is known as the winter solace, when the earth makes this journey. So Bhardwaj Muni and Yajnavalkya were two great souls. They were having a discussion between two of them. In fact, the first Ramayan satsang took place between two people, Bhardwaj Muni and Yajnavalkya. We are very fortunate to have so many of you here. Thanks for coming. Welcome. Swagatam. Though it is a solemn occasion. And so the both of them will have a discussion. One is sitting on this side, and the other is sitting on that side. And I want you to follow very carefully and closely. Because I don't want you to go, when you go home, and somebody asks you, what did Baba say, me, I know what he said, and why he talks so much of rubbish. So I want you to follow and follow good. So tonight, my dear good friend Ashokji will sing from the pages of the Sri Ramcharis Manas Balkan about his two great souls, Bhardwaj Muni and Yajnavalkya. भरद्वाज मुनि प्रयागराज में बसते हुए जिनका श्री रामचंद्र जी की चरणों में अधिक प्रेम करते हैं. I crave your indulgence. This is the orthodox all Hindi Ramayan, so I have to read in Hindi and then explain in English. तपसी के घर है इंद्रियों के दया, बड़ केवल परम भाग हो परम चतुराई. Bhardwaj Muni was a great saint. Though he was a great saint, yet still he was a great philosopher and a great scientist. So that does not mean that if someone is educated, a doctor or a scientist and so on, he cannot be spiritual. Here he shows that Bhardwaj Muni was one of the world's greatest scientists. And I'll tell you later a little more about him, but I will do so quickly. I don't want to elaborate too much, because Bhardwaj Muni alone will take 2 or 3 hours to talk about him. So this great soul that we are talking about, who is sitting here at the bank of the Ganga, was a great scientist. And he wrote a book, a thesis called the Vimanika Sras. And that was hidden in the caves in the Himalayas, in Tibet, until a person by the name of Dr. Rao went to do some excavation work. And he found this Vimanika Sras, which is on the world today. But Dr. Rao did not keep the text written by Bhardwaj Muni. He sold it to NASA, North American Space Center. And NASA is using that book today to make airplanes, because Viman means airplane, Vimanika Sras. So Dr. Rao became rich by selling the text, and Hinduism became poor. And that is why when they couldn't understand the text, NASA, their employees, 75% of the employees in NASA are Hindu Indians with long tikka. First time you hear that one. Those are research facts. So all them planes you see flying all about, and America is the world's greatest artillery maker, are made by Hindu people, and the managers are only white. The machine that they sent to the sun recently, which takes 7.5 years to circulate the sun, not to go inside the sun, was sent by an Indian mathematician, an Indian woman mathematician. She name is Sumantri Sulong. I can't remember the years. She worked out all the maths and the problems and how to land the machine around the sun. So be proud. Be a proud Hindu. Beat your chest. Raise your muscle and do so. Stand 10 feet tall and say, "Hum Hindu hai." Don't want it to go to carry nobody to heaven. Be a proud Hindu. And then you can speak about Hinduism and how great they are. And don't tell me Ravan Harisita. Don't ever tell me that. I don't want to hear that. That never took place. Before I go to Hari time, I already paid for it. And every Ramayan reader should know that. And they know it. You know, bhakti is a terrible thing, you know. Bhakti. When you try anything a little bit, you be in a bhakti mode. Yes, sir? So we only preach bhakti. But I'll tell you something, you know. The bhakti movement never free in there. The Shakti movement free in there. The bhakti movement never free in there. The Shakti movement free in there. Because bhakti then follows Hadimala. And they walk in all about. And the British rule India for 400 years. And they beat all of them. And I'm still Hadimala. Up came the Pathan, the Mughal Empire, and ruled India for 1200 years. And beat all of them in India. And I'm still Hadimala. is when Gandhi came, tell him, throw Himala and let us drive the British out of India. And he used two words, quit India. And he broke the back of the British Empire. You must know these things. So Bhardwaj Muni was a great soul, and he sits there in the bank of the Ganga and he speaks to Yagyava Taubai. January, like now, February, माह के महीना में जब मकर संक्रांति होती है, like all now is मकर संक्रांति, जो उस समय सब कोई तीर्थ राजा में स्नान करके जाता था. All the millions of people will go to bathe there in this triple stream where the Ganga, Jamuna meet. The Jamuna, Ganga and Saraswati meet. It is known as Tirbeni. It's where the triple stream, the three rivers meet. वहाँ पर तिरबेनी कहते हैं. And people tune by the millions. In fact, when the Kumbh Mela festival takes place, which is the lunar Kumbh Mela festival every 12 years, all now is still Kumbh Mela, but it's not so large. They still go to bathe. Millions go during this period. But when it is a real Kumbh every 12 years, which is known as the Lunar Kumbh Mela festival, it is the world's largest gathering of human souls. You want to hear how much people will go to bathe one time? 70 million people will bathe one time in that river. In Tirbeni, that is known as Haridwar. Haridwar means the gateway to heaven. It is there that your soul comes in contact with God at Haridwar. Any one of you who go to India, please go and visit Haridwar. You feel a sense of being. And if you want to die right in Haridwar. So this is the place that Bhardwaj Muni stays. And it is the period of time which is known as Makar Sankranti. In January, February, that this great place comes to life. And you have those persons who come there to bathe. They say, who come? Devta. Rakshas also come to bathe. Dev. Rakshas. Manush, man, human being. Kinnar. Kinnar is half man, half beast. They exist, eh? They existed. In ancient time they existed. I don't know if they exist now, we cannot see them, but they did exist. Greek mythology have a lot of them. Medusa with all snakes on her head, and Centaur who had horse foot and so on. We're not going there. But anyway, किन्नर और मनुष्यों के झुंड के तुल वो भी त्रिवेणी में स्नान करते हैं. And they all come there in Triveni to bathe by the millions. And who come again? The Nanga Babas. Nanga means naked, and Baba means aesthetic. And they will come from the mountain caves. The Nanga Babas. Some have clothes, some do have no clothes. And they will come in the millions. All those Nanga Sadhus, Nanga Baba, Nanga Sadhus. And while they're coming down to go to the Triveni to bathe, the people by the millions who are there, they will make a path for them. They will clear the way both sides, like how they have a road. The both sides, they will clear the road. And as these sadhus come down in their millions with a beard, big beard and jata, and the face smeared with ash, and they had a trisul of Lord Shiva, and they will come with one voice from the Himalayas, Har Har Mahadev! And that is what keeps the power of Hinduism and India alive. And you know how much of them has come? 33 million of them, sadhus from the mountains. In Trinidad, sadhu is an endangered species. Up here in Trinidad, we are an endangered species. Very hard to find. Long time Ghar sadhu rahe. Now, San Francisco have one, and somewhere in TBT, or maybe Rock Road, a tiger is one. You can't find them. And we are Hindus. And we boast about ourselves. And we can't stand up for our own rights. We have been trodden. And when you talk, they say, shut your mouth. What are you talking like that for? Continue. See what happened in Port of Spain? We have more Barako just now. There's two things that you do to destroy a race and people. What's the first thing, Amrit? Language. You destroy the language. You tell a fellow, why that would be Rama? You know that never? You know Rama Ram. Why the Hindu? And you tell him, come now, I will teach you Hindi. These boys are from my Hindi class. All these boys there. They have more, but you know, when they come. Nobody wants to learn Hindi. I will tell him, hold up, Bhajan Mala by Jai in the Mandir. Jai is from Gandhi village. The Mandir on the left there is by the river. He is the president of the Mandir there, Jai. Hari Prasad, my good friend. Thanks for coming. And if you hold a Hindi class by Jai, nobody is coming. If you hold a Bhajan Mala by Jai or by me or anywhere, nobody is coming. Yeah, वो क्या है then वो sing भजन बहुला चटनी ना लोटे भौजी लोटे तू को लोटे ला माने भाई यहाँ प्लेस और हम हिंदू हैं why? And one thing I always criticize, and I tell them that, and I stood up against it. Some people, I doubt interpret this. Let me sing it. नंदा बाबा जी की छैया बाबू नाम है कन्हैया 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 रे. Nanda Baba is the father of Lord Krishna. Nanda Baba ki छैया बाबू नाम है कन्हैया. Kanhaiya is Lord Krishna. Kanhaiya Kanhaiya re. You take me the name of the Lord. Kahe ko bend dehe, kahe ko galla, bendanaya ve ko take boy take. Ave ko balla gwala bal. and you put the chicken in your mouth and you pull it. Wada bada ke khela nahare, and you are a Hindu. What? And you are Hindu? And that chutney song, that bhajan, one of the greatest bhajan, turn into a chutney, and everybody whining and jamming. हम हिंदू हैं चौपाई महादेव की चरण कमल का पूजा करते थे और वहां अछायपत का पेड़ है तहां भरद्वाज मुनि की पवित्र आश्रम है वो परम विवेक मुनि पर जानकर केवल राम कौन है and so Bhardwaj Muni asked Yajnavalak was another saint like Bhardwaj Muni and he asked him who is this Ram and so Yajnavalak and him began to have a discussion. I told you a little bit about Bhardwaj Muni. And I told you about the triple stream where they met, the Ganga, the Saraswati and the Jamuna. But the Saraswati is no more. The Saraswati has dried up in some extent. So you have the Ganga and the Jamuna. But the Saraswati actually is not dried up. The Saraswati flows underground and comes out at the mouth that is known as Tirupati. And why is the Saraswati dried up? When Ved Vyas wanted to pen the Mahabharata, he went on the bank of the Saraswati river. And the river was very turbulent, making too much noise. So he told Saraswati, pray to the river. And Saraswati appeared in the form of a woman, Saraswati Mata. And he told her, listen, I am going to pen the Mahabharata. And I want you to get calm so that I will be able to concentrate and to write the Mahabharata. Saraswati, that is the river that took the form of a woman, disappeared immediately. And she went underground. Up to this day, the Saraswati flows underground. Scientists from all over the world came to see why is it that this river has disappeared and why it is flowing underground. And they found that the river existed since millenniums ago. And it flows underground. They also found one thing that is strange. That the water of the Saraswati that flows underground is pure and crystal clear. Those are the kind of things that make me a great Hindu. So Saraswati did not dry up. She just disappeared and allowed Vedas to write the Mahabharata. So it is that point that Yajnavalkya, who was also a great saint, and who was Yajnavalkya, that too, Tiger, will take quite a time to explain. But just tell you who Yajnavalkya. Yajnavalkya was such a great being, just like Bhardwaj Muni, whom I told you that is the inventor of all these planes that can come over your house and do make noise, and planes that can be invisible and so on and what have you. Bhardwaj Muni was a person like that who lived there. He was a great scientist. And I did to tell you how they found the book and so on, and it was given to NASA and whatever story. So Yajnavalkya was a great soul. He was one of the persons that wrote the Tirthai Upanishad. Tirthai Upanishad. Bhardwaj Muni was his father-in-law. He married Bhardwaj Muni's daughter. So here you have father-in-law and son-in-law, both two great saints, speaking to each other. And next thing that comes to mind as I talk about father-in-law here is that we in Trinidad and Tobago, when some of the in-laws died, they say the son-in-law can't touch the box. Can't come and touch the mother-in-law box. And can't carry the mother-in-law box. And can't carry the father-in-law box. Who tell you that? Which boxer tell you that? Which part that right? I've been doing research for over 10 years to find out the answer. And I can't get it. I'm still doing it and I can't get it. Somebody may have a little argument with his son-in-law and say, "Jab hamar jata tha, ta har bakas na chue." When I did to leave, touch me box. And the next one I hear that, he say, "Alright, boy, when he did, you go, them people there and let his son-in-law touch the box, so you all not do the same thing." And he started to go on. So when the old man died, sick, and he had a dispute with his son, and he goes to live by the daughter, his son-in-law shaved him. He bathed him, give him a little drive. Huh? He do everything for the father-in-law, for the old man. Because the son is dishonest and does not want to help. And if you tell his son-in-law, "Boy, I'm hungry," he says,